Welcome to the Casual Experience.
Hello, casuals. You're welcome to the Casual Experience Show, a show for the MMA enthusiasts where we talk about fight and just gist about fight. And on this episode, I'm with a mega star, our own Laura Sanko, mixed with Nina Drama, mixed with Ellie, Lois Ogunniyi. You're welcome.
I'm so happy to be here.
In fact, you make the ambience of this our studio brighter and more beautiful.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
How's your stay in Abuja been?
Mixed feelings. Abuja is too peaceful, but again, it's nice.
Yeah. So you're already used to the bustling and hustling of Lagos.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, you're welcome once again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And AK07 was the first time we noticed you, like we saw you, and then we got to relate with you, we got to speak with you, and then we found out that how ingrained you are in mixed martial art. And it's, well, in this part of the world, it's unusual for a female to, would I call yours MMA journalism?
No. I'm a journalist by day, and I love watching combat sports at night. I think you can say that. And I stumbled on AKO in 2020 when they were doing the AKO show, and I was locked in since then. So I've attended every AKO except AKO 5, the one that happened in Abuja.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the AKO 10 is going to be in Abuja too. And I'm sure you'll be attending that too, won't you?
Hopefully.
And was AKO your first intro into mixed martial arts?
No, definitely UFC. I mean, we've seen the names Kamaru, Adesanya, but again, I wasn't locked in. I wouldn't stay up for their fights, even at then. But then COVID hit and we really didn't have time. And when they were doing the UFC shows during the time, most of us, or I can only speak for myself. Yes, we were sleeping during the day and we were awake at night. So if there is something people are watching at night, why not just stay up and watch it? So when I found out that they now do this in Lagos, I was excited. I was like, okay, let's see what it's like. So I watched parts of I didn't even really follow of what it looked like the season one. But when they now turned it to like a show, the first show was Face of Fight Nights 3 because they had another franchise then. Yeah. So immediately I attended the first one. I knew I would come back.
Yeah. And then you began the whole getting to know fighters, getting to know promotions, interviewing
3
fighters.
3 years later.
Oh, that was recent. That's 2 years ago.
A year ago, less than a year ago.
Yeah, but you seem so keyed into it, as if you've been there.
I think for me,
you're natural with it.
When I started watching AKO and in comparison to UFC, I see a lot more the fighters can do. I see a lot more the promotions can do. And some of these fighters, I don't think they are living up to their potential and they are putting in the same amount of work. So when you see things like this, you are like, oh, I think they should do more. I think we should have more pages dedicated to this. I think we should do this. I think we should do that. And how can I, as an average Nigerian, you can advise, but a lot of people are not putting in the work. So I said, you know what, let me start something. Like when people start seeing what this is on this scale, we might have a lot of new people, casuals that are now interested that this is happening in Nigeria. Keep in mind that combat sports is a very short span sport. Yeah. So if these people are putting in the work for this time in their life, they deserve the dedication of media, promotion, and all of this alongside, yes.
Yeah. And how has the reception been? I mean, when you even first begin, the first time you decided to interview a fighter or the cage side, how was it?
I think my journalism instincts, I can interview anyone, but on this scale, I need to get to know them first, which isn't what I do with work. It's been, I think, interesting. I wouldn't say overly fun, and I wouldn't say overly on the downside, but I've experienced both. Fighters are a lot to deal with. So interacting with fighters is a lot because most fighters, I don't want to say Nigerian fighters, have this alpha energy that I don't know I don't understand this, by the way. So but it's been a lot. I've had some experiences that are not so cool, but I've also had, great experiences with some pleasant fighters that I think they are just cool people aside fighting. So yeah.
So are you seeing this as a long-term thing?
To be very honest, I'm just getting by. My main goal is to maybe give a lot of people interest to see what's going on in this side of town. I don't have to continue it with my face, but the goal is to bring people in while we can.
And it feels more fun, like it feels like you're having fun, and it doesn't feel as if you're working. And before we started the pod, I was comparing you to some known female journalists there, and we particularly picked about on one. But in this part of the world, what do you think is the general misconception about females in MMA?
I think I'm not. I don't want to sound like a super feminist because I am not. I think females still get relegated in life. Across industries. So automatically they feel this is a male-dominated sport. So males are more welcomed than female. A female is when do you start? You see all those questions coming up. But again, yes, I've experienced that, but again, I don't think it's on a toxic level. And keep in mind that this is how most of these men were probably raised. So they are just initially inquisitive, like why? So
what have been some of your favorite fighters to cover?
Fighters I cannot forget, even if I stop the podcast today, in that I've had intriguing stories, not really personal experience. I think one will be Jubril Inoue. He's one. If I would list my top fighters, Inoue will always top that list.
I met him recently too, AKO 9, and he didn't know me. I just went to meet him. After the face-off he had with Dos Santos, yes. When he came out, I just went to meet him and like, Jubril, nice one, and he was so accommodating.
I think he's genuinely. I think again, you never know people, but I think he's genuinely a cool person. He's down to earth. If you follow him on social media, you can tell he carries religion with grace. And I think that has also reflected in his life. Some of what we've seen before AKO, before one of the last AKOs in 2024, he lost his kid, and he still fought. And I again, it's just the level of respect I have for Jubril, I cannot say, because I think he's just one to watch, and I genuinely just wish him the best. The level I don't know this man past his name. It's also that's also intriguing, but he's one of the fighters I respect the most.
But now you're already creating a niche for yourself in the MMA community in Nigeria and Africa as a whole. How do you balance? And before I thought this was your full-time job, but now how do you balance my job with this?
I try. Again, I wear many hats. It is not easy. I'm also a fashion designer. I make half of what I wear. There is no time. But the way I think about life is, if I currently have the bandwidth to accommodate it, let me do it now. Because as I grow older, I might not have that bandwidth again. So why not do it now? That's why I said earlier that the continuity of this is very uncertain. But while we're doing it, let's put in our all. So why not?
And you seem to be like, I know that you're someone that is ingrained into every bit of MMA, because you were saying you train jiu-jitsu. I train
jiu-jitsu.
Only jiu-jitsu.
I'm not a striking person, so
really?
Yes, I don't think I am. But again, my coach
prefer grapplers to strikers.
Yes, generally. But my coach, shout out Calera, as you know, he said I must learn at least one two combinations. So, but I am interested in jiu-jitsu. I like the heart of breaking people down without violence, and jiu-jitsu does that for you. You can submissions, and if you
don't have the technique, if you don't have the know-how of it, I mean, you can't subdue someone. Unlike strikes, I'm not saying, I'm not a downplay to strikers though, but like you could wing a punch and knock anyone out. Yeah.
But with jiu-jitsu, you can't. And the technique is beautiful, transitioning from one submission to the other, offense, defense, just getting out of submissions as well.
Are you following the UFC BJJ tournament?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. And they concluded yesterday. Merabi also fought in it.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite MMA podcasts to watch?
I mean, obviously Joe Rogan. Yeah, obviously Joe Rogan. There's a couple of them. I stumble on, for national brotherhood's sake, I watch Pound for Pound.
Pound for Pound, yeah.
Yes, I'm also on Adesanya's channel. Stylebender. I watch Mighty Mouse, surprisingly.
Yes, Mighty Mouse has his own way of analyzing and breaking down fights himself.
So when I got into MMA, I struggled with the podcast available.
Yeah.
The reason is that I started really paying attention in 2020, to be honest. And when you go and watch podcasts like Joe Rogan, if you don't know about the sport, you will not enjoy it, because the technical terms, the way they mention fighters, the way they mention things, you might just be like, oh, next. And I struggled, 'cause in my head I was like, nobody is giving like a step to like newcomers. And the truth is, maybe they have their audience, but here in Nigeria, you need a footstool for people to actually understand the sport, or else you're just going to see it as like WrestleMania. So that's why my goal is to be able to soften the content and bring more people in, especially in Nigeria, to see that this is also happening here and on this scale.
Yeah, but on your Instagram page, when you speak and talk about fight and you analyze it, you give it in a form of a news.
That's my work creeping in.
Yeah,
that's not my goal. That's maybe my background creeping in.
Yeah, and what was the first fight you watched live?
The first fight I watched live was that I remember. Maybe because it stood out was Dustin UFC. Dustin McGregor.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Which one? The first fight?
Yes.
The first fight 2018? No, 2017. The first fight that McGregor won.
No, the one McGregor lost.
That was the second fight. Then the third fight, he broke his leg.
Yes, the second one was the first one I watched. Then the third one, I watched the first one, the one who broke his leg. Yeah. So when I started being an MMA fan, I had to go, and you have to now do research. Who is this person fighting? Why? Have they met before?
You like the story behind the fight, Abby?
The fight. No, if you don't actually know the story behind it, you will not enjoy it.
Yeah.
Or behind the fighters,
it makes it more exciting.
It makes it more exciting. I mean, like this upcoming fight now, Oliveira Ilya.
Yeah.
If you just understand it from a fight perspective, you might not enjoy it. But go back to Oliveira's story. Someone that was written off by doctors, saying he cannot even do sports. Everybody loves a good underdog or comeback story. So you would root for him naturally. Then you now come to the skill and say, this guy is a good boxer, but you come back and also say height advantage, reach advantage. So you're like,
and there is a family man. That's one of the things.
Both of them.
Yeah, yes, but with Oliveira, he wears it more on his chest, because obviously he just gave it now to a little baby girl like a couple of weeks ago, and he's now telling the baby that he's going to bring the belt to her. To the baby. And
it's not by that too.
Yeah, and Tokoro is like, don't bring kids into this thing. When you know I'm going to just smash you. Now you've already gone to promise. You're going to go and promise an innocent kid something that you're not even sure of. But
so I think with fighters, there's something I call the power of the mind and might.
Yeah.
So your mind might tell you something, but that another person's knuckle can knock off that your might immediately in the ring. And every fighter, Topuria is confident. Why not? He's unbeaten, 16-0.
Yeah.
That's a huge accomplishment. But again, I don't think has he ever faced someone as tall as Oliveira.
Just Herbert when he moved up to light heavyweight. When he moved up to lightweight. And he almost got knocked out.
Yeah. So you need to see that again. Oliveira's jacked record is because he's faced tough opponents.
And he's been in the AFC for so long. For 17 years now.
Well, Dustin has been for 19.
Yeah.
There are a couple of them. But again, someone that's written up by doctors, it feels more like a calling. It feels more like he can now inspire other people that have been told no.
Yeah.
In life, one way or the other. So again, he's someone that I really like. He's someone I'm really inspired by his story, win or lose. And he's a nice guy. You see him shaking all his opponents. We are opponents. We are not enemies. He's one of.
But that's the flex. When he does that, he fears me. I mean, I feel every fighter should fear him more. I mean, if you come into the ring, the octagon, hugging your opponent, shaking the corner without no prejudice, and then at the end of the day you're ready you're ready to knock the person out.
We can have, this is a combat sport, we cannot have all nice guys. I like the bullies as well. I like Amzat Chiamev. I love the bullies. I love Strickland because he talks a lot. So at the end of the day, but we're backing it up. So you cannot be a bully and be getting hits. Amzat is a bully. I would say that. Strickland is a bully, but so they cannot all be nice. Imagine if Amzat is a nice guy.
No, the aura won't work. If you could interview any fighter, past or present, who would it be?
If I could interview any fighter, first is GSP.
Oh God.
I think first is GSP. If I could interview another fighter, UFC. I mean, our homeboys now, Adesanya, Kamaru. Right now, Dustin, I like his story. Female, Shevchenko. Rose. Strickland, definitely Strickland. Is sarcasm is.
You seem to be a fan of Strickland, and everyone seems to feel he's a wacko.
He definitely has mental issues, but I think he's a type that his brain and his mouth is connected. So as he thinks it, he says it. So why not?
And he says it brutally honest. Like you can always sense that he doesn't have any. He's not trying to mince words. And in a way, the UFC themselves are trying to manage
for brand's sake. And I think people are allowed to have strong opinions. It's not for the gay guys. It's visibly and verbally said that multiple times. Some people are not, and they're not talking about it. So I think people having stands about different things shouldn't upset the entire world. It's not his thing.
We're different.
So where we draw the line is bullying, but then bullying kind of comes with the sport. Because I've enjoyed some bullying.
Yourself?
Yes.
Talk about it.
McGregor bullies all his opponents.
Just with words of mouth, though.
It's more painful. It's psychological.
That's
when someone says that to you, you have the mind and might of beating this person, and the person wins. You might end up in therapy.
So I want to ask you, if you were a professional fighter.
I can't be, but go on.
No, like if you were, hypothetically now, if you were a professional fighter, would you be? Do you think you would be a McGregor or a GSP? Like in terms of demeanor?
No, clearly not. But I won't be an Adesanya either. I think I would be. This is a good one. I don't think I'll be an Oliveira either. Maybe in between is one of those guys we know their names.
Because there are factors to, like, it's act of war now. There are factors to winning beyond you just entering into the cage. They want to beat their opponents mentally, physically. So like me, if you're fighting a lady that that has some advantage over you, or that you have the verbal spark or the verbal spark over her, won't you want to use that over her?
I get that, and not a lot of people are funny, and we need to understand that being funny is also it's creative.
Witty.
Yes, it's a creative. It's a creative form of, I don't know what is speaking.
And
you know that people, you can also imagine how people will receive this. A level of sarcasm. It's a creative instinct. So I see them as smart guys. McGregor is smart in and outside the cage. Maybe not recently, but like, he is smart in and outside the cage. It takes some people that are not, some people, it's worse for people that are trying to be funny and are not funny.
Yeah, like see Sean O'Malley, who is a star but doesn't have that verbal nuance that like McGregor. He's more of a flashy. He's more of a flashy type of superstar than the verbal type. Even Ilya now that the UFC is trying to push to the moon, I don't think he's even as verbal as he should be.
Ilya is smart. Ilya has language barrier. Yes, he speaks English. I think Sean has what would I call it? Speech barrier. He's
Strickland?
Sean O'Malley.
Okay, O'Malley, yeah.
There's a way he talks that, is undertone. Don't quote me, but yeah. Ilya, I see him as a smart fighter. Again, he's confident because of what he's achieved.
Yeah.
Dustin's record is jacked, but I'll put Dustin above Ilya for me. I'll put Max Holloway above Ilya for me. Another thing is, while I respect the time they put in terms of training, I also do not respect when they don't make weight for the weight category they fight in. Even people that do brutal weight cut know that it is now their job to make 155 when they want to fight at 155.
Yeah.
I mean, we have fighters like Aman whose record has been jacked because he doesn't make weight.
Yeah.
But Nigerian fighters, I really don't know the consequence they get or for not making weight. I don't think it's severe enough, because you see, this way people did not make weight, but because now we have a show, they still have to fight.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that.
No.
So, and you see some of them using unconventional ways to cut weight,
Yeah.
and now they are stooling.
Yeah.
Well, because why?
And even the graduation process is bad.
That's for them, because they could fight at another weight class. They are not forced into the weight class they are fighting in. So once you decide that you want to fight in this weight class, you should have known and accepted that each time I have a fight, it is brutal.
Yeah.
Oliveira cuts weight.
Massive weight.
But it is his choice, because he could fight 170.
Yeah.
So again, weight bullying, and it's your choice. You have a say in that. But when you choose to fight in this particular weight category, please make weight. Please make sure you're not using unconventional ways to make weight. Make sure that you're not taking what you shouldn't be taking as an athlete to fight your opponents that might be clean. These are also disciplinary things that you should do for yourself and for the opponent. Again, I don't know, but I feel a lot of Nigerian fighters will fail PEDs right now. Now, about the age fraud. Nigerian fighters, oh my God. I'm Nigerian. Age fraud is not new to us, but we are in 2025. There are so many clinical ways to check your age. Bone density, brain, MRI scans, how long you've been alive. I mean, we have people dedicated to this. If you will cut your age, make sure it is no more than 2-3 years. I don't stand with it. I don't accept it. But you cannot cut your age as if you're slapping my face. No. Because now I'm angry. You are 28, brotherly. No, now. You cannot be 28. So, and again, you cannot just cut your age by just reducing it for a promotion. You have to have data to back it up. You need to have your international passport. Your NIN has to match, because we think Nigeria is not keeping data, but we are. You went to secondary school in 1999, but you're 28 in 2025. Smart guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a growing sport, and I mean, at the end of it, I just hope and feel with us here to talk about it, and everybody will level up eventually.
We shouldn't leave room for that animosity. If we want to say we are taking it serious, and we want other people to take it serious, I think we need to hold ourselves accountable to a large extent. And it's also asking fighters to put in the work. And to be very honest, the sky is their limit, because promotions that will even take them, they wouldn't even be able to fight nationally anymore, because they'll be busy with bigger promotions.
Yeah.
Again, if you're not used to the discipline of making weight, of not using PEDs, when you get there where there is now avenue to check for these things, you would fall under.
Yeah.
So that's not what we want. So the discipline we're asking for is not just for us, it's also for them as a fighter to get used to this level of sportsmanship.
Yeah. Well said, Lois. and we could talk.
Gracias.
We could go on. We could go on and on forever.
Thank you.
Well, for lack of time,
It's okay.
I want you to talk to your. I'm sure you know you have fans.
I do.
Yeah, I do. And well, you have supporters, yeah.
Yeah.
And you have a couple of your channels out. Tell us about it.
My channel right now is called Fist to Fist.
Fist to Fist.
Yes, but the name might change as it doesn't really appeal to me anymore. It's just a page to come and see the fighters beyond fighting. Look at who they are. Ask them what they've done, or to check in with what they've done. Some of them have really motivational stories, and because all of us in Nigeria, we're just getting by. You have fighters that still double as bouncers in clubs, just trying to make an honest living. And so I believe I've seen fighters with amazing stories, and you cannot be a storyteller without wanting to tell some of these stories, not for us, not for we hosts, but again for the world to be able to see these normal people in Nigeria. Most fighters, especially in AKO, are good medalists nationally, but they don't even have the platform to be seen as gold medalists or with the respect of what they've accomplished. Some of them have gone to Olympics. Again, when you see other countries talk about their Olympians, the same respect is not what we are getting here in Nigeria. No. So again, what we can do in our own small way to make sure that most of these stories are told, most of these fighters are seen, why not?
Yeah. So you'll be changing your Fist to Fist to
Lois MMA, hopefully.
Okay.
That's what
Lois MMA.
Yes, that's
not,
what
not
is.
Fist to leg or Fist to hand or something.
I don't know.
And that can be found on
Instagram, YouTube, those two for now.
Yeah. And guys, as you heard, you can see the passion churning out through her, and we embrace like minds. Anybody, anyone that you're passionate about talking about fights, you're passionate about mixed martial arts. Yeah, we're here. Let's have a talk.
Yes.
Lois.
Thank you so much thank you guys, because you guys have been one of the first people that welcomed me with open hands right from the first time, and that's not common, and I want you guys to know. So yeah, thank you.
And that's how we behave here in Abuja.
Thank you. That's so nice. Thank you.
Yeah, and we wish you the best of luck when you get back to your bustle and hustling Lagos.
I cannot wait.
We've had a couple of coming there 6, 7, 8, 9. That's wow.
4.
I mean, it's high time. We enjoy some.
Yes, I'm so jealous of you guys, but hopefully I get to make it in August. But yes.
Is it August?
Yes.
August. 10 is August.
Yes.
Oh wow.
So hopefully.
Yeah. No. So we see you in the next couple of months.
Hopefully.
Yeah, in 2 months' time.
Yeah.
And guys, thank you for watching. When you watch, kindly subscribe. We are doing great things here. And on this episode, it's a wrap, yo.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome to the Casual Experience.